Yo, what's good everyone? So in this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to make emotional drill beats from scratch, but I'm going to keep it more on the dark side, so it'll be perfect for artists such as Lil Tjay and Fivio Foreign. So I'm going to be explaining everything from the melody right through to the drums and arrangement. And yo, I've got a big announcement to make because over the past few months, I've been working crazy hard on a brand new bundle called Planet Drill. So if you liked my Divine series and my Deep Suite, I think you're going to love this one, man, because I've stepped it up once again. So there's 10 insane kits in there, including a drum kit, a drum fill kit, loop kit, one-shot kit, an erhu phrase kit, preset banks, and a lot more. This one's inspired by sounds from all over the world, especially in Asia or the Middle East, and I think I went all out with this one, man. I hired the professional erhu player to play some royalty-free phrases, and I also hired someone to play a lot of live percussive instruments for the drum kit. So all the sounds were designed from scratch or recorded live, and they're perfect for all types of drill, especially Afro drill, melodic drill, ethnic drill, or even just different genres if you want to get more creative with it, but I'll show you it fully in action next week. Right now you can join the waitlist using the link in the description, and if you're on that list, you're going to get the bundle at a huge discount, but you're also going to get a brand new hood trap kit completely free. It's the genre that's popping this year and there's not many kits around, so yeah, if you want that and all the other producer goodies, then just make sure you click the link in the description to get on the waitlist. And let's get straight into the video. Okay, so when it comes to making emotional drill beats, there's a couple of things that I think will really help you. And first things first, we want to set the BPM. My template is set to 143, so we'll just leave it on that for now. And I'm just going to start with any grand piano. I'm just using addictive keys. Now for the melody, one of my personal cheat codes is to use chord progressions that I know. So sometimes as producers, we kind of just go by feeling and just click notes in and see what sounds right. But then other times, if I'm stuck, I use some go-to chord progressions which I know create a certain emotion, or I know just work for a certain vibe. And the way I learn these chord progressions is by listening to music and just figuring out the bass notes that they're using, because once you have the bass notes, you'll start understanding the patterns and then you can build chords on top of that. So one common chord progression I hear is this. So let's just pick any note like G, and then we're going to go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to go down 3 from there. 1, 2, 3. And then up 2. So the progression is going to be like this. So these are going to be our bass notes or the root notes of the chords. Let's just pitch it down an octave. You have to understand that there's only so many chord progressions out there, which is why a lot of tracks tend to sound similar. And once you start dissecting music, especially the tracks that you like, you'll start to figure out the common chord progressions. Then once you have the foundation like that, you can make them sound unique by the sounds that you choose or by using inversions and playing the chords differently, which I'll get to soon. But yeah, so we've got this progression. Now we're just going to build chords on top of it. So for any minor chord, we're just going to start with the root note, go up 3 and then up 4. If it was going to be a major chord, this middle note would just go up 1. But I'm going to start with a minor because I want it to sound kind of sad. So now we'll go to the second one and we'll just build on this. So we could try a minor first. Same thing, just going up 3 and then up 4. And you see, that to me just sounds a little bit weird. I'm not feeling the second chord, so we're just gonna make this one a major chord. Now we can just follow this process. So we'll try a minor, and then we'll try with the last one. But we could try a major as well. I like that as well. So in this case, both of those chords work. A major or minor would work at the end. But I'm going to run with the major because I like how it resolves back to this one. But now from here, you can just do things to make it sound a little bit different. So for example, we could invert some notes, like pitching this up, maybe those two, just so the notes are closer together. And now we've got this. Feeling that, definitely. So because we inverted those notes, if you're thinking about a real pianist playing, they do that so that it's easier for them to play because the notes are closer together, and obviously you do get a different sound from it as well. So that's how you can make your progressions a bit more unique, just by inverting. And then another way to make it a bit more unique is to build on the chords or to separate them. So I'll show you what I mean. So to build on it, we could try go up 3. That makes it a 7th, which is common for like jazz and soul, so I'm not really feeling that for this type of vibe. So don't mind that with the root note on top. Another thing you could think about is just using one of the notes that's already in the chord. So for example, A sharp. Try G2. And then like I said, we could try and bring some notes out too. Now I'm just going to add some root notes. So if you remember, we started with G, went to D sharp, to C, and then D. I'm also going to take them, shift and click, and then controlling down. What I'm going to do now is press Ctrl and B to copy it. I'm going to get rid of this note just so it ends a little bit differently. I'm also going to press Alt and R and then bring the velocity down. And then this bit can take a little bit of time, but I like to manually bring some notes out. You could strum them with Alt and S, but I just prefer doing it manually. You get more of a human feel. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that all the way through. So now that this one's sounding a bit more human, Ctrl and B to copy it, and then we'll just add that end note back in. Then if we want a little bit more variation, we'll just add one final note. Let's try to pitch this whole thing up. And then we'll take the bass notes one more time, copy them again. That might be better. Alright, so what I'm hearing next is a top layer to this. So most of the time melodies will be split into 3 sections. You'll have the bass notes, something in the middle, and then some sort of top line. And I'm just hearing some sort of fast, repetitive melody. And then we could come back up. Alright, so that's really the foundation of creating any melody. And from here, what we can do is just experiment with different sounds and effects. So I'm going to use the Noir piano from Contact. We'll just copy this in, and I'm just going to keep the bass notes there. Maybe we could try some augmented piano. And then we'll just take the chords from the MIDI. This piano's kind of sick. So let's copy that one more time, and then we'll take the top line and find something else. Like this. I like the sound of this one. But what we could also try is just taking the whole piano melody and then just having these other 2 layered with it. So I like the sound of that as well. So we could just run with this. Alright, let's highlight those. Control and L to link them to a mixer. On the top line, I'm hearing some crystallizer. We'll try up an octave too. Also going to take some low end out of that. Same with this one because we've got so much low end from the other piano anyway. Plus we're going to add the 808. I've also just gone to my Perlina Portal Bank and I'm adding the Crystal Pulse preset with the mix brought down. Just gives it a little bit of movement. Could try some halftime on those chords as well. Sounds kind of hard there. Then maybe when halftime comes in, this top line can be down an octave. Now because we've used halftime and pitched the other one down an octave, we've left some open space in the top end, so now I'm thinking we could add some strings, something like a violin. I know this violin's been rinsed, but I think it will sound sick with this beat. Then we're just going to add some Valhalla to that with the low cut up. And I know it's starting to sound a bit busy, but I'm not worrying about that now because when it comes to the arrangement, I can find space for everything. Alright, next I'm just hearing a choir, so I'm going to try this one in Omnisphere. With the choir, I want that to be sitting in the background, so I've just added quite a bit of reverb, the low cut, and then I'm only going to have this in certain sections because I think it sounds sick with just the piano. Okay, and then for these melodies, I also like to have some sort of vocal phrase, so when the strings and the choir drop out, I might bring that phrase in. See what I'm saying? That one sounds cold. I'm going to have that one play twice and then switch it up. Vocal sounds crazy. Alright, now I just need something to tie it all together. So I'm going to highlight everything, right click, route to this only. We could even try changing the key. Could also try something like Cymatic's Origin. This just gives it more of a vintage effect. And then I'm also going to use Vocal Bender by Waves just to pitch up the formant of the vocal. Just by like 3. So yeah, I think there's more than enough here with the melody, so we'll get the drums in. And I don't know if you guys knew, but I actually have my own kit on Splice where I designed everything from scratch. So if you haven't seen that, definitely check it out. Like this one might fit perfect. That's a really nice snare too. making it kind of jumpy. Yeah, just something like that to add a bit of bounce. Then I might just layer that snare with something like this, or this one. I just like to find layers that have different tones. I think I might have to use one of my all-time favorites, the Rider 808. This is from a Grease kit, but it's in my Best of J Cactus kit too. I'm gonna actually fade it out so I can have some longer notes though. Now when it comes to the 808, a lot of people get confused about where they should have the slide notes. And there's no set rules, but there's some guidelines that I tend to follow. Obviously the main thing is to follow the root notes of the chords for the most part. But then the middle notes, you could use notes that are already in the chords. So for example here, we could use G, A sharp, or D sharp. But honestly over time, you just have to trust your ear and see what sounds right to you. But yeah, we'll test it. So yeah, for the drums, that's mostly what you need. The only thing that you might want to add from here are just some percussive elements and then some effects like some rises or some drum fills. Might add an open hat to this one. Let's go back to my Divine bundle. I think the Chaos drum kit's one of the hardest I've released, man. Just want something like this. Fade these out. And then just switch up the end. On the second counter snare, I'm just going to add a bit of delay for bounce. Alright, cool. And then maybe the last thing could just be a drum fill. Yeah, maybe something like that. So there's a lot going on in this beat, but when I start arranging it, I'm just going to create more space. I'm going to go ahead and split the drums. Okay, I've just added some more slides to the second half of the 808s, just so we can pick up some more energy. So yeah, now we could take everything, just copy it out a few times. And then for the intro, we could start off with the keys. Then we could bring the violin in and the counter snare. Actually, we'll bring this top line in. We'll save all of the vocals. Then after the hook, we're going to take the violin out and the choir and that top line. Take out the percs too. Kick till about there. Something like this. Maybe save those keys too. And then right here, we'll take the vocals out again and then maybe have that top line come back in. But in this part, we'll add a sub bass instead of the 808. So of course, we're going to go to Analog Lab and my Aquarius Analog Lab bank because this sub bass is just too sick, man. I use this all the time. Okay, and then the finishing touch is just going to be my signature sound, the camera flash. Then we're going to take this whole thing, copy it over. Then we'll just take the hook one more time, which is this part. And then I think we could just finish on the piano. All right, man, so let's have a listen from the beginning.
J Cactus.
Sounded crazy. So much energy. And then just coming into the verse. Those vocals sound so sick. So even though the hook's busy, I think the verse makes up for it. Just got some cuts in the drums. And just coming to the bridge. So yeah, if you like this and you want more tutorials just like it, then just click up here. Or to hear the new wave of 2024, then click up here.